Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gr4, and today we're going to try something different on this channel. I'm decently good at a game called Gran Turismo Sport, and I would like to help you guys out with the FIA series. Today we're going to start with the Manufacturer series because it just got announced that we could race them again. And the first track we're going to be on is Red Bull Ring Short Track. I don't have that much experience with this track, but since I'm decently good at this game, we're going to definitely give it a try and see what results we're going to end up with. Now, first of all, the first thing I want to show is if you go into practice time ranking into the top 10, you can see it is pretty much just front-wheel drive cars. And right off the bat, if you see this, then you know for a fact soft tires is a thing. Soft tires is owned in Gr4 by front-wheel drive cars, and since I signed with the contract with the Corvette C7, it is very important to understand that your weakness already is going to be the qualification. Doesn't necessarily mean that the race that you'll be slower in, because front-wheel drive does have a disadvantage because they will have to go pit stop 1, maybe 2, even 3 laps before you have to, especially if you have slipstream. Depending on how the track goes, the majority of it, you have to understand that front-wheel drives is faster. They are faster, unfortunately, on soft tires, so you won't be able to qualify good, but in the race itself, you could potentially be very good if you didn't sign with a front-wheel drive car. But with that being said, let's see how it's going to go into free practice, and let's do this. Something I need to address to you guys is that I did load a ghost of one of the Audi TT drivers. I think it was Josette's. And I did race against it. The reason being that you need to do this as well is to just make sure that you know the racing line. I did about 15 laps in that, and it was my best lap. And unfortunately, I did not record the gameplay of that. So I'm going to show you guys my best lap that I did with my own ghost versus my own ghost. The reason for that is because it is better to do it in the long term. There's not always going to be a car in front of you to see the racing line perfect. So you need to race against yourself and try and beat your time. I did 83 laps, but yeah, it wasn't all great laps. But I want to show you guys here the fastest lap that I did, and then we're going to break down the braking points, acceleration points, turning points, and how to actually get the best out of your car possible. This is not going to be a tire wear, this is not going to be fuel consumption, this has nothing to do with that. I will make a video maybe in the future, depending on how much you guys like this video that we have right now, and take it from there. So that was my fastest lap. It is time for us to break it down so that you guys can also do it yourself. Let's go. Alrighty then, the very first braking point, 100% brake point, is the white stripe or the 100-meter board. You brake 100% until the cone, and then you start to trail brake as soon as you reach the turning point, which is, you will see there's like this little tire marks at the floor. That is the turning point, so you're gonna 100% brake from the 100-meter board until the first cone, and then you are gonna trail brake, which is half braking, half turning, right at the tire mark. Now, after this turn, you want to ease your throttle in from, 20%, 50%, then 100%. Unfortunately, I didn't do that properly or efficiently, so my car did slide. Even though it's a Gr4 car, it's very important that you still ease into turns. Do not give 100% because your car will slide. So I lost pretty much 1/10 there if I did it better. Guys, this brings us to turn 2. Turn number 2, the cones is the perfect spot for you to brake and turn. It's trail braking pretty much 100% of the time. And but yeah, cones is not always a great spot to rely on. So I also found this weird marking on the floor that you could also use if your cones is getting wrecked. You could use that marking. Make sure that you trail brake a certain amount when you turn. I cannot tell you the perfect amount. You should keep your eye on the car. If it goes too wide, you either brake too much or you didn't brake enough. Okay, it's very hard to say. If you turn into the turn, like for example, if you keep it at a 90% turn ratio and your car eventually goes in over the grass like I did here, That means we took the turn a little bit too slow. It's the utmost important that you know the perfect speed for this turn. And you cannot tell someone the perfect speed. The only thing you can rely on is turning at 90%, 100% while this speed, while you don't go off track, or you take the corner too wide. It is a very hard turn to learn. It took me a while, not a long time. It took me a while to get this turn right, but it's the utmost importance. Then at the next turn, it is important to stay a little bit more to the right instead of turning in immediately. The reason for this is because of the exit. If your exit is really well after the next turn, it's a little bit of an S. After the second part of the S, you will nail the. It's a decently big straight. You will nail the straight pretty well if you take the S a little bit wider in the beginning. So keep that in mind. Your exit speed will be faster if you take the second part of the S a tiny tad wide. And so we go to the last two parts, the last two turns of the race. So, the 50-meter mark right before it, like roughly a car length before the 50-meter board, is the braking point. You're going to brake 100% until the cone, and then you're going to turn to the right. Trail braking, turning to the right. Make sure once you hit the apex that you release the brakes. Do not brake any further because you're going to outbrake yourself. It is the utmost importance that you do this correctly because, as you see, I did not do it correctly and I lost quite a bit of speed against the Ghost on the very first part of the turn. It was so bad for me that I even had to lift a little bit to go on the straight. So once you hit the apex, you can slowly start throttling back again and all the way to 100% until you reach the next braking point. Alrighty then, the next braking point is just like the turn before. You see this red line here at the end. It's literally just a car length before that. That's the braking point, and you're gonna brake 100% until you reach the... there's again a tire mark on the left side. Once you reach a tire mark, you're gonna trail brake to the right. If you trail brake too much, like I did, your ass will swing out a little bit. Which means you're sliding and you're gonna lose time if you do that. So make sure that you hit the turn perfect or better than I have. Like I said, I've done this so many times, dude, and I could not get the utmost perfect lap. Unfortunately, you know, I'm not that great yet. I'm only playing this game out for 3 months. I am A+, and you know, 3 months A+, that is a pretty solid play, if you ask me. We are top 1% already, so I just need to finalize or, you know, clean out my play a little bit more, and then I could actually get some really sick times. It's going to just take a little bit of time to get there, to go from top 1% to being top split. I'm only third split right now, and I really focus on getting top split. If you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also follow us on this streaming channel. Link should be in the description for that. If you guys find this very useful, I might make more like this in the future. It took me so long. It took me 4 hours to edit this video, so I hope you guys did enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.